Dan Illman, Mike Beer. The first of three graded stakes races at Woodbine on Saturday is race number 3. Let's throw up the field for the Canadian. Fillies and mares going a one-turn, a mile and an eighth on the turf. Only a field of 5 in here, Mike. Merveilleux is the 8-5 morning line favorite. It'll be interesting to see if Merveilleux ends up favored at post time. The key for her is whether she can stay close to the pace. This is a short field. There doesn't seem to be a lot of gas.
Yeah, she's definitely one of the ones in here, but you're right. I mean, it feels like pace makes the race here because when you go through this field from top to bottom, there's only 5 of them. It doesn't feel like any of them want the lead.
And when pace makes the race, we throw up the Timeform US pace projector for additional clues. Gray bar, no speed. And our secret agent, I can see her making the lead. She's stretching out a quarter of a mile. She has shown some speed in the past. And I'm thinking maybe nobody else wants it. Our secret agent's going to take it. Antonio Gallardo knows what he's doing.
Yeah, I mean, and in some ways, it might be her only chance to win this race. Not that she's meeting, a bunch of killers here, but she's only run once on turf. I guess she ran okay in that race to be third, but it feels like she's in a spot here where she would, likely have to improve to win, and getting to the front on a slow pace could certainly help her.
Court Return seems in a little bit better form than she was in this going into this race last year, where she just won a restricted stake. She was third in this race last year, then ran a very good third in the Grade 1 EP Taylor. Fourth last time out in the Dance Smartly. That was a race, didn't have a ton of pace. She came very wide into the stretch. She's up against perhaps a similar situation.
Yeah, she is. We'll see if she can get a better trip this time. She ran fine in the Dance Smartly last time, sort of the same trip that Merveilleux got, just outfinished by that horse, but she was staying on to the end. That race didn't have a lot of pace. This race doesn't feel like it's going to have a lot of pace. We'll see if she can get a trip.
Never off the board from 12 lifetime starts is our secret agent. We'll watch her effort in the Grade 3 Seaway, going 7/8 on the Tapeta last time out. And in this synthetic sprint, she is near the back of the pack on the far outside, and she's going to kind of grind it out to be second behind favored Boardroom. All in all, a useful performance. The question is she as good on turf? I thought her effort in the Grade 2 Nassau was promising enough to make me think she's probably equally proficient on either surface. Now she has to take a slight step forward.
Yeah, she does. And she has to stretch out to a mile and an eighth too, which I guess could be of some concern for her. They've kept her mostly to shorter distances. We'll see. Again, it feels like she could wind up on the lead here, Dan, and that might be enough.
And I wonder if Joel Rosario is going to have his eye on Gallardo down towards the inside, because while La Dragon T doesn't seem like a closer, it's worth noting that in his North American debut, Rosario's put her right on the lead and they wired him. Didn't need to do it last time out at Saratoga. Let's watch that race for La Dragon T, who is traveling very comfortably on the outside, turning into the stretch, and she's going to draw off and win with a career best 91 Beyer speed figure. It looks like this Christophe Clement trainee is coming into her own.
Yeah, she ran well in here. This was very yielding ground, and she was very confidently ridden by Rosario all the way around the track. He finally took her to the clear at the top of the stretch. She wins sort of as she pleases here. A nice performance. Even her first 2 starts, I like that you brought up her stateside debut, Dan, because you're right. They put her right on the front in there, and she looked just like that on the lead. She traveled very strongly in there. Rosario didn't even ask her until they came to the stretch, and she blew that field out at the end. She ran really well that day. It's a pretty good point that maybe we should have brought up when we talked about the pace projector. This horse could go forward.
The number 4 Barkin has never been off the board from 5 starts. She's run well in every start. She is really improved with additional distance. Let's watch the synthetic race last time out, going a mile and a 16th. It's her first start of the year, her first start off of a lengthy layoff, and she wins this race in solid fashion, running down odds-on favorite Ballymore Star. I would urge everyone, however, to go back into your formulator past performances and watch the replay of her maiden win going a mile and a quarter on turf, because that was very impressive.
Yeah, she worked out a good trip in that race, and she won really easily. The distance obviously had no effect on her whatsoever. She finished that race off really nicely, and her prior 2 turf starts may not look that great then. She ran well in both of those races. She certainly, it felt like, would have won her turf debut last July. She got in all kinds of trouble through the stretch, couldn't get clear till it was way too late, but she was best that day, and she just got going way too late. They left her way too much to do in her second turf start.
Multiple stakes winner Merveilleux completes this short field. Let's watch her third place finish in the grade 2 Dance Smartly last time out. Saved ground early, angles to the outside in the stretch, and you're going to see her just kind of grind and grind and grind it out. And she's going to be beaten 3/4 of a length by Mutamakina. A career best 92 Beyer speed figure. I'm still trying to figure out what distance is best for Merveilleux, but I'm not really concerned about the 1.125 miles. I think she's run well at that distance enough on synthetic.
Yeah, I don't worry about distance with her either. She's fine in this race. Again, the pace wasn't that fast. That was court return there in the purple and green to her outside. They were both just sort of forging on. I mean, neither one of them, came with some kind of huge finish that made you feel like they were unlucky in there. But they certainly both ran well, and I think they're both contenders right back.
Top pick time for the grade 2 Canadian states. The favorite looked both favorites look sharp. Merveilleux, Dragon T. They figure
Yeah.
Barkin's the most interesting horse because she has the most upside and she might actually have the most explosive kick.
Yeah, we'll see if she can up her game a little bit. She has to improve, I guess, to beat these horses there. But she's second off the layoff now, back on turf. I'm concerned that she doesn't have a lot of speed. When you watch all of her races, she's always at the back of the pack. That could work against her here, but she's got that upside, and I do think she's pretty talented.
I've been chasing Merveilleux for a while. I'm hoping that Rafael Hernandez can get her close to the pace, because if she can, then she might have a little bit of a tactical advantage over the true closers. 4-3-5-1 for Mike, 5-3-1-2 for me. It's the grade 2 Canadian on a Super Saturday card at Woodbine. Good luck.